Loneliness is often seen as a curse, something to be feared or avoided at all costs. It's a feeling that many of us dread, a sensation of emptiness that creeps in when we're left to face ourselves in silence. Yet, what if loneliness is not a curse, but rather a divine phase, a powerful moment of growth, healing, and spiritual development? What if, instead of running from it, we embraced it and allowed it to shape us into stronger, wiser individuals? In today's video, we're going to explore how moments of loneliness are not just periods of isolation, but profound opportunities for inner transformation. This time of solitude could be the key to understanding yourself better, growing closer to Allah, and preparing yourself for the future in ways you may never have imagined. The 5 signs. Your loneliness is a divine phase of growth, will take you on a journey through the deep and often overlooked aspects of being alone. Far from being a punishment or something negative, these moments in isolation are designed to help you discover hidden strengths within yourself, purify your heart, and align your priorities with what truly matters. Loneliness, when viewed through the lens of faith, is not a sign of weakness. It's an invitation to embrace personal growth, spiritual reflection, and a closer connection with Allah. Let's dive into this powerful concept and uncover the signs that your loneliness might just be the phase of growth you've been waiting for. But before we do, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Deen Xplorers for more videos that help you grow spiritually and emotionally in this beautiful journey of life. 1. Feeling closer to Allah in your solitude. Loneliness is often perceived as an unwanted companion, a shadow that looms over us when we feel disconnected from the world around us. Yet, it is in those very moments of solitude that you can experience a profound closeness to Allah. When surrounded by others, our attention is divided, and our hearts may become distracted by the noise of the world. But when we find ourselves alone, it offers an unparalleled opportunity to reconnect with the one who created us. Allah, in His infinite mercy, draws us near during these times of loneliness. It is not a moment of abandonment, but rather a period of intimacy and spiritual rejuvenation. Indeed, we have created man, and we know whatever thoughts his inner self develops, and we are closer to him than his jugular vein. Allah is always with you. He is closer to you than you are to yourself. In moments of loneliness, it is easy to feel forgotten, as if no one truly understands the depth of your emotions. But Allah, who is intimately aware of every thought and whisper of your heart, is ever present. This divine closeness is an invitation to turn inward, to pour your heart out in prayer, and to seek Allah's guidance, comfort, and mercy. In solitude, you have the space to reflect, to pray, and to seek forgiveness for your mistakes. It is in this quiet stillness that you can hear the whispers of Allah's love and mercy more clearly than in the hustle and bustle of everyday life. The world may seem to turn its back on you, but Allah's presence becomes more apparent in these moments. The beauty of this closeness is that it requires no external validation. You do not need anyone else to make you feel complete, because Allah's presence fills that void in your heart. Furthermore, during times of loneliness, Allah provides the opportunity for deeper spiritual growth. With fewer distractions, you can focus on strengthening your relationship with Him. The act of worship becomes more meaningful as every prayer, every supplication, and every moment of remembrance becomes an intimate conversation between you and your Creator. The loneliness that you may have once dreaded begins to transform into a sacred space for growth and connection. In this solitude, you are not abandoned. Rather, you are being drawn nearer to Allah, who is always ready to listen to you. It is important to embrace these moments of solitude with gratitude and patience, for they are a gift that allows you to come closer to the one who understands you fully. Allah knows your struggles, your pain, and your heart's deepest desires, and He is always there to guide you. Remember, The silence that surrounds you is not emptiness, but a chance to hear the voice of Allah in your heart. This closeness is a reminder that you are never truly alone, and Allah's love and mercy are always with you, even in your most difficult moments. 2. A period for self-reflection and growth. Loneliness can often be a mirror, reflecting back to us the parts of ourselves that we may otherwise ignore in the hustle and bustle of life. When we are surrounded by people and constantly distracted by external forces, we tend to overlook our inner state, our goals, and our deeper needs. However, during periods of solitude, we are given the unique opportunity to pause, reflect, and evaluate the direction of our lives. This is not a time to feel sorry for ourselves or wallow in despair. Rather, it is a time to engage in deep self-reflection and spiritual growth. In moments of isolation, we can truly take a step back and assess who we are, where we are headed, and what we have accomplished. Sometimes, we become so focused on external validation and the opinions of others that we forget to check in with ourselves. Loneliness, in its purest form, removes these distractions, allowing us to examine our inner selves with honesty and clarity. It is in these moments of solitude that we can begin to address our weaknesses, build upon our strengths, and reconnect with our true purpose. Self-reflection in times of loneliness is also an opportunity to evaluate our relationship with Allah. Are we fulfilling our duties as Muslims? Are we striving to live according to His commandments? Have we fallen short in our prayers, in our character, or in our dealings with others? This is a time to take inventory of our spiritual practices and make the necessary changes. The absence of external distractions allows us to focus solely on our connection with Allah, which is the foundation of all personal growth. Moreover, loneliness can also help us identify our true desires and goals in life. Often, we pursue things that are not aligned with our purpose, either because of societal pressures or the expectations of others. In solitude, we are free from these external influences, and we can listen to the inner voice that guides us toward what truly matters. This period of reflection is essential for discovering our true passions, setting meaningful goals, and realigning ourselves with our divine purpose. Through this process of self-reflection, we not only become more aware of our shortcomings, but also more attuned to our strengths. We learn to appreciate the lessons that solitude offers and to view it as a time for personal development. By honestly examining ourselves, we can identify areas for improvement and growth, whether it is in our worship, our character, or our relationships with others. This period of isolation, rather than being a time of sadness, becomes a powerful tool for transformation. In the end, loneliness becomes a catalyst for growth, a necessary pause in the busy rhythm of life that allows us to reflect, reevaluate, and ultimately become the best version of ourselves. Allah has gifted us this time to connect with Him, to understand ourselves better, and to make positive changes that will enhance our lives and our faith. As we reflect and grow in solitude, we move closer to becoming the individuals Allah has destined us to be. 3. Learning to rely on yourself and trust Allah. When we face solitude, we often feel like we are left to navigate the challenges of life alone. This can be an overwhelming feeling, but it's important to remember that although people may come and go, Allah is always with us, guiding us through every difficulty. The very essence of trusting Allah lies in acknowledging that He is the ultimate source of strength, and no matter how isolated we may feel, He is always closer than we think. And place your trust in the Mighty, the Merciful. When you place your trust in Allah, you acknowledge that He has a plan for you, and that even the moments of loneliness are part of that plan. These moments teach you to depend not on others, but on Allah alone, and to trust that His wisdom is greater than anything we could ever understand. While it is normal to seek comfort in the presence of others, loneliness strips away these external comforts, compelling us to seek solace from within. We begin to rely more on our own strength, but we also learn the important lesson of trusting in Allah's timing and provisions. Allah has given us the strength to stand on our own 2 feet, to make decisions, and to take action. Yet, He also reminds us that true reliance comes from knowing that ultimately it is He who controls all affairs. Trusting Allah means surrendering your fears, doubts, and anxieties, and knowing that He is in charge of everything. During moments of loneliness, it can be tempting to feel lost or defeated, especially when we face challenges that seem insurmountable. But it is precisely in these moments that we can learn to trust Allah more deeply. The growth that comes from relying on yourself and trusting in Allah is not immediate. It is a gradual process. It begins with small steps, such as making dua, supplication, seeking Allah's help in times of need, and practicing gratitude for the blessings you still have. Over time, you will realize that you are becoming stronger, more resilient, and more at peace with the uncertainties of life. This phase also teaches you to find peace within yourself, instead of constantly looking for external validation or answers. Learning to trust Allah is a process of surrendering control and accepting that everything happens according to His divine wisdom. When you fully embrace this trust, you will find that you no longer fear loneliness, for it becomes a means to grow closer to Allah and to strengthen your reliance on Him. As you navigate your moments of loneliness, remember that this is a divine opportunity to deepen your faith. Allah is teaching you that true peace and strength come not from others, but from placing your trust in Him. By relying on yourself and trusting Allah's plan, you will find not only growth, but also a profound sense of calm and contentment. Loneliness, then, transforms from a burden into a blessing, a time for personal empowerment and spiritual growth. 4. A time to purify your heart and priorities. Loneliness is often seen as a time of emptiness, a space where we feel as though something is missing from our lives. However, if we approach it with the right mindset, it can be one of the most powerful opportunities for self-purification and realignment of our priorities. When we are surrounded by others, we can sometimes become distracted by external influences, and our hearts may grow distant from the values that truly matter. In solitude, however, we are given a chance to purify our hearts, cleanse ourselves of negative emotions, and reassess our priorities in life. It is during these moments of solitude that we can examine the state of our hearts. Are we harboring grudges, bitterness, or envy? Have we allowed worldly desires to take precedence over our spiritual goals? Loneliness gives us the space to reflect deeply on these questions and to seek forgiveness from Allah for any negative feelings we may have been holding on to. During times of solitude, we are forced to confront our inner selves. The distractions of the world fade away, and we are left with only our thoughts, emotions, and the deep questions that stir within us. It is in these quiet moments that we can begin to purify our hearts by releasing negative emotions and focusing on developing qualities such as patience, gratitude, and forgiveness. The process of purification is not always easy. It requires honesty and humility. But it is through this process that we become more aligned with the teachings of Islam and grow in our love for Allah. Additionally, loneliness provides an opportunity to reassess our priorities in life. Often, we become so focused on external achievements, such as success in our careers, social status, or material possessions, that we lose sight of what truly matters. When we are alone, we can step back and reflect on whether these external goals are serving our spiritual growth or taking us further away from our true purpose. Moreover, loneliness can help us disconnect from unhealthy attachments and worldly distractions. It is easy to become consumed by the pursuit of material wealth, status, or validation from others, but solitude allows us to step back and evaluate whether these pursuits are truly fulfilling. In these moments of quiet, we can begin to detach ourselves from the desires that distract us and focus on what will bring us lasting peace, such as a closer relationship with Allah, acts of kindness, and a commitment to spiritual growth. Purifying the heart and realigning our priorities is a continuous process, one that requires patience, reflection, and self-discipline. The lessons learned in solitude can be transformative, allowing us to grow in sincerity and humility. Loneliness, when approached with the right mindset, becomes a powerful tool for purification. It is through this time of reflection that we can shed the distractions of the world and turn our hearts back to Allah, focusing on what truly matters in this life and the hereafter. As you navigate moments of solitude, remember that they are a chance for growth. Embrace the opportunity to purify your heart, realign your priorities, and strengthen your connection with Allah. The true peace that comes from a purified heart is far more fulfilling than anything the world can offer. In these moments of loneliness, you are being given the gift of self-discovery, spiritual renewal, and a closer relationship with your Creator. 5. A preparation for the future. One of the most profound aspects of solitude is that it forces us to face ourselves without the distractions of the world. In moments of loneliness, we are given the time and space to look inward, to evaluate our strengths and weaknesses, and to prepare ourselves for the future. While the future may seem uncertain and full of potential challenges, loneliness gives us the chance to lay the groundwork for future success, not just in the worldly sense, but also in the spiritual realm. In times of solitude, we also have the opportunity to strengthen our relationship with Allah, which is the most important preparation we can make for the future. When we are alone, we are more likely to engage in deep reflection, prayer, and supplication. These acts of worship, when done with sincerity, help to purify our hearts and draw us closer to Allah. This connection with Allah becomes the foundation upon which we can build a strong future. Whether we are preparing for personal challenges, career advancements, or changes in our family life, our relationship with Allah provides the strength and guidance we need to navigate these changes with faith and resilience. Moreover, loneliness can be a time for developing the qualities of patience and gratitude, which are essential for success in any aspect of life. During times of solitude, we learn to rely more on our own abilities and on the guidance of Allah, rather than on external validation or support. This self-reliance, combined with trust in Allah's plan, enables us to face the future with confidence, knowing that no matter what happens, we are prepared to handle it with faith and wisdom. The future, as we know, is never guaranteed, and it is often full of surprises, both good and bad. But the key to facing the unknown with grace is to use the present, even in moments of loneliness, to prepare ourselves spiritually and mentally. Allah prepares us for the future by giving us the opportunity to grow, to build inner strength, and to deepen our trust in Him. Each moment of loneliness is part of this divine process, refining us for what is to come. Loneliness is not just a time of solitude, it is a divine phase of growth that helps us prepare for the future. By deepening our connection with Allah, reflecting on our strengths and weaknesses, and building the qualities of patience, resilience, and trust, we are being equipped for whatever lies ahead. In the end, it is through this process of preparation that we can confidently face the future, knowing that Allah has always been with us, guiding us through each and every phase of our lives. As we've seen today, loneliness is not a curse or a sign of failure, but a powerful and divine phase of growth. It's a time to reflect, purify your heart, realign your priorities, and prepare for the future that Allah has destined for you. Embrace these moments of solitude as opportunities to grow closer to Allah, to find peace within yourself, and to build the strength you need for whatever lies ahead. Remember, your loneliness is not an empty space. It's a fertile ground for personal transformation. Trust that with patience and faith, you are being prepared for something greater. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Deen Xplorers for more inspiring content. May Allah bless you with peace, growth, and clarity as you continue your journey.